So here's a short paracord tutorial. This is some shoelace material. You can buy a tubular shoelace, or you can buy this material from Shoelaces Express or some website like that. And you need a mandrel of some sort. This mandrel's 4 millimeters, 5 millimeters, something like that. And you can put your mandrel through. Find the center bite of your pieces that you're going to want to attach. And you can tie a knot or you can braid, either one. So if you're braiding, you can go around and braid. And so you can braid for a bit, come off of the mandrel, and you're going to want enough braid that you can pull it back through and make a loop for your closure. Typically, I would say that you're going to want 3 fingers worth at least for a bead closure. And I don't do a lot with this 550 paracord for stuff like this. I usually use other materials, but since this is a paracord group, you just create a 4 plate for a few inches, and you want about 3 inches, so maybe one more pass. Okay, so now you have a braided section that's a loop that will go around the bead, right? And maybe you want, because you're using a 1-inch bead, maybe you want 3 fingers or 4 fingers for 1.25 inch bead. But when you get to the end of your 4 plate length that you want, so there's 4 fingers, you can pull the mandrel out. You can tuck these tails down inside. So you got to make sure you got all 4 tails inside. Pull it through. Now you have a loop closure. It's about the size of my thumb. But there's a sliding closure for a bead. And that is one way to create a looped closure, using a bit of shoelace material and a mandrel. And you can go down to the store and buy flat tubular shoelaces if you don't want to buy a 500-foot spool or a 144-yard spool or whatever they sell it as. But this is very handy for pulling stuff through. And to give you an idea of the diameter, this stuff will fit on a Sharpie if you want it to. It's kind of tight on a Sharpie, but if you wanted to use a Sharpie, or you can braid on a Sharpie, pull it off, and cut this at an angle and put it on a needle and pull this piece through on a paracord needle. So if you have a little small needle like this from the Jig Shop Pro or wherever you shop for them, eBay has little needles like this, and this one's all wobbly. But if you wanted to pull more stuff through this, you could work the fid through. And you could pull more material through if you wanted to. Just put your ends in it and pull it through. This makes kind of a sliding closure. So there's a lot of ways to do this, but I recommend a little piece of tubing and a 10th stake This is titanium tent stake. They're about $5. And I like the diameter. They will open up paracord, but they won't, you can't really slide it all the way. But if you want like a bell end on the end of your paracord projects, you can fuse that open like so. And that way you can stop unraveling in a creative, pretty way. So there's a couple odd paracord tips. And as you can tell, it's pretty easy to fuse it. And the nice part is these won't fray beyond where that is fused. And then you can use this with your bead closure and close it right down on a bead. And then you can put different beads on here if you want for a necklace, or not a necklace, but like a wristband. But you asked for a short tutorial. This is a better tutorial.